Hey there, my name is Mike Price, chef and owner here at The Clam, and I'm here to show you my 5 essential seafood tools. Oyster and clam knife. I mean, super essential here at a restaurant, especially called The Clam. We go through a lot of raw clams, shucked clams. So I have here the clam knife that I use. I use the wooden handle and relatively thin. It provides a lot of leverage. This is about a 2.5 incher and one of my favorites I've kind of used since the beginning. This is my oyster knife. As you can see, it's slightly curved up on the end. This is a New Haven style oyster knife. We go through with just about as many oysters as we do clams here at The Clam. And this is, actually, I take great pride in shucking oysters, and this is one of my favorite things to do. For me, we do a lot of filleting whole fish here at The Clam. We use a lot of the bones, the head, there's cheeks, there's so much to use. But when you're filleting whole fish, we need pin bone tweezers because what we're left with is pin bones that run through. So there's 2 processes to get rid of the pin bones. One is to essentially cut them out, and the other is to tweeze them out. Tweezing them out is a lot less wasteful. So at a seafood restaurant where we're really trying to give the best product for the best price, that meat around those pin bones is perfectly delicious and no reason to be wasted. So for me, we're constantly tweezing salmon, fluke, black sea bass, I mean, you name it. And what's interesting about tweezers is it's one of the few kitchen tools that you don't want sharp. I get tweezers, new tweezers, and I immediately grind them down and dull them. The reason for that is when you're actually tweezing the pin bones out of the fish, if the tweezers are too sharp, they'll cut the pin bone and you won't be able to pull it out. So this is an interesting tool in a sense. It comes kind of sharp, but at the end of the day, I really kind of grind it down and make it dull so it works properly. Fish spatula almost has an aura about it. I don't know why this shape works so well. This is essential when sauteing fish. This is not something I turn steaks with on the grill. This is particularly for sauteing fish and getting it in and out of a saute pan. A couple of traits to it is kind of pointed on one side and curved on the other, so you can kind of get under the fillet. It's a little bit, you can almost see it's kind of a little bit honed on the front part where it's a little bit sharper and kind of curves down, so it's almost pointed at the very tip. It's slotted, which is important, especially when you're sauteing fish. You can kind of you're lifting it up out of the oil, and you can almost blot it while it's sitting on the fish spatula. It's the right length and shape of a lot of fish fillets, especially if you're sauteing in a 6 or 8 inch saute pan. It's light and cheap, and there's one on every station in my kitchen in the seafood restaurant. It's absolutely essential, and if somebody doesn't use a fish spatula to take the fish out of the saute pan, I can always tell. It comes in handy in a couple of ways, particularly when you're opening up the knuckle meat and the claws. If you don't get the whole claw out in that top part of kind of where the pincher is, you need something to get inside of there, and you can see one is a 2-tine fork, and then there's almost like a flat kind of spatula type end to it. So no matter where it's stuck in there, you can either kind of scoop it out or pick it out of that spot. Especially when you're talking about the claw meat, that's very prized after. And then, if you can see this little part right here, the skinny piece, that's perfect for those 8 other legs that the lobster has, where you're in there kind of getting that meat out of the small claws. Out of a lobster, you can get 2 ounces of meat that is not in the tail, claw, or knuckles. This is also one of those tools that's in every kitchen we have, especially this one. We use it everywhere. This is a 22-inch Presto Plancha griddle, essentially. And we use this for all kinds of things. We use this for griddling brioche with butter for the lobster rolls. We use this for cooking crab cakes. We use this for searing scallops. We use this for finishing duck breasts. At Market Table, we have one of these built into the line. It's a plancha. It's 2x2, it's built into the line. Here, when we opened, we didn't have gas for the first 3 months. So I had electric going all over this place, from fryers to ovens to everything. And I had about 3 of these things set up just to function. And you know, they impressed me so much that we've kind of built them into our catering business. I have one of these at home actually, and we use it for grilled cheese. I have a family of 4. We use it for pancakes on Sundays. I make a thin pancake batter, and you know, we'll make some smiley faces and do some pancake designs, little pancake art. If you haven't seen that on the internet, you should check it out.